Welcome to my classes. Today we continue with the English classes on the way to English. And today I have a new participant. Her name is... Look at the camera, please. Okay. Maria Salome, tell us something about you, please.
My name is Maria Salome Rendon Jaramillo. I'm 15 years old. I study with the teacher Juan Pablo for 3 years.
Excellent. Maria Salome, are you from Argentina?
Yes, I'm from
Very good. Then, this is my new participant today. Welcome to my class, Maria Salome. Thank you. Okay. And then, we have another participant, excuse me. He was in the last class. Please, could you greet the camera?
My name is Valentina. I'm 17 years old. I'm from Jardín. I've been studying the teacher Juan Pablo for 7 years.
Oh, very good. So today we are going to be in a class with 2 students. I hope that you will enjoy your classes. Este curso es inicialmente dado para niños, pero the class is in English. Toda la clase es English, most of the class is in English, right? When I have some explanation that is difficult for people, I'll try to do that version in Spanish, okay? So, very good. So, everybody, welcome to my classes on the way to English with teacher Juan Pablo. Very good. So, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Oh, very good. Maria Salome, how are you doing today? Fine. Oh, very good. Do you like this class today?
Yes.
Oh, very good. So, tell me, Valentina, are you from Jardín?
Yes, I'm from Jardín.
Oh, very good. What's Jardín like?
I like
Excuse me, what's Jardín like?
Jardín is
Small town, yes. Safe, right? Jardín is safe. Safe.
What is
Safe, seguro. Seguro for people.
okay? Yes.
Is there pollution in Jardín?
No.
No, there is no pollution. Valentina, are there many people in Jardín during these days?
No, it's not much.
Not many.
Many.
But maybe during weekends are many people, right?
Yes.
Jardín is a beautiful town, and in Jardín we can find many people, especially during the weekends, right?
Yes.
Is there something good to do in Jardín?
Could you repeat this?
Is something good to do in Jardín? What do you do in Jardín?
Work.
I walk. Where do you walk? You go to the mountains?
Yes.
Right. And where do you walk?
I
go
to the Salada.
Salada. Oh, the Salada is a small village, right?
Yes.
It is beautiful?
Yes.
It's very far away from here, the Salada?
No.
No, it's very far away.
It's near.
It's near. Oh, very good. So here, in Jardín, there are so much to see, right? So, we have the Basilica, it's beautiful, in the park. But you can also visit the mountains, right? You go to the mountains, and you can also, in the mountains, you can see beautiful birds. How do you call this kind of bird? Do you know the name of this bird?
Gallito.
Gallito de...
Roja.
It is a name for that in English? The cock of the rock. The cock of the rock. Because it's the cock of the rock. But you know that, right? So we have also peculiar, very traditional really, vehicles. This is a traditional vehicle in Jardín. We call it, what do you call this kind of vehicle in Spanish?
Escalera.
Or la chiva, right? It's very traditional because it's painted different colors, you know. People used to ride the escalera to go from one place to another, right? It's beautiful. So, actually, there are so many things to do in this town. Okay? So, do you think, Valentina, English is hard?
No, I think that English is easy.
Easy for you, because you have been learning. Do you think, Maria Salome, that English is hard?
No, English is easy.
Easy English for you, but for many people it can be difficult. Okay, tell me, how do you feel today?
I feel excited.
Oh, very good. You can see excited. Do you think that I am angry today?
No.
I am angry, right? Very good. Do you feel, Valentina, do you feel excited today? Yes, excited, maybe excited. Excited, very happy. I feel very excited, very happy. Are you proud to be in the English class today, Maria Salome? Are you proud?
No.
You're not proud? Orgulloso? Proud, proud. Are you not proud? Maybe you should be proud. Okay. So, I am going to ask you another question. What is the name of your school? The name
of my school is San Antonio.
So you study in the same school?
Yes.
Good. Is your school big or small?
Big.
It's big. How many students are there in your school? How many?
600.
600 students? Or 600 students?
Yes.
How many teachers are there in your school?
24 or more or less.
More or less? You say more or less? It might be better to say about. It's better to say about. There are about 23 teachers.
Yes.
But Valentina, tell me, do you study science in your school?
Yes, I study science.
Yes, I do. Do you study government in your school? Government.
No.
Yes, you do. Government. Government has to be with social study, gobierno, democracia, the government, right? Yes, you actually study government. Tell me, is Spanish difficult?
No.
No. Is social studying difficult?
No.
No, it isn't. Oh, very good. What is the name of your neighborhood?
The name of my neighborhood is Observa.
Barrio. Is a name for your neighborhood over there?
Santander.
No, that is the street. The name of the neighborhood. Is a neighborhood? Is that Guayaquil?
Guayaquil.
Okay, it's a neighborhood. Is your neighborhood noisy or quiet?
No.
It's very noisy. Are you able to sleep with the noise?
Yes.
Yes, I am. Is your neighborhood noisy or quiet?
It's quiet.
It's quiet. Do you like your neighborhood?
Yes, I like it.
Do you think that Jardín is quiet or noisy?
It's quiet.
Quiet.
It's quiet? It's quiet on the weekends?
No.
It's too much noise, right? Okay, so after this free talk, this free conversation, I'm going to teach you some greetings. I'm going to write some greetings that is very important. Voy a enseñar algunos saluditos que son importantes. So this is what's going on and what's happening. So I'm going to write here before we begin the class greetings, right? Before the class we have some greetings. We continue with these greetings. What's going on? And the same, what's happening? Repeat, what's going on?
What's going on?
What's happening?
What's happening?
Very good. Do you have an answer for this kind of greeting, Valentina? If I say, what's going on? what could be the answer?
Just the usual, not much.
Okay, very good. Another. What's going on? What's going on is ¿qué está pasando? O ¿qué pasa en español? ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué pasa? It's a kind of very familiar. Talking with my friends, talking with people. Okay, what's going on?
Just the usual.
Just the usual. Okay, very good. What's going on?
Not much.
Not much. So this is the kind of, we're going to use this kind of greeting. So I want to teach you how to answer this kind of greeting. So there are some. We can say, when somebody tells you, what's going on? You can say, not much. Not a lot. Nothing. Or nothing much. Could you please, Valentina, what's going on?
Not much, not a lot, nothing, nothing much.
All right. No mucho, or nada, right? You say. Could you read, please, Maria Salome?
Not much, not a lot, nothing,
Nothing?
nothing much.
Okay, excellent. But we can say also about this, just the usual, just the usual, just the usual, just the usual, or just the usual, or you can say just the same old thing, just the same. The same old thing. There's an eraser right here. There's an eraser. Okay. Okay. Just the usual, just the same old thing, right? Repeat. Just the usual.
Just the usual.
Just the same old thing.
Just the same old thing.
Cuando las cosas están ahí van, uno pues más o menos, uno dice en inglés, just the usual, simply just the same old thing, right? So, well, there are many events in your life, that there are many activities in your life, so many things in your life. Cuando hay muchas cosas, you say, oh yes, all kind of things. You say, gosh, all kinds of things. Right? Oh gosh, all kind of things. Could you repeat, Valentina? Oh gosh, all kind of things.
Oh gosh, all kind of things.
Maria, could you repeat?
Oh gosh, all kind of things.
Okay. Let's suppose we're walking on the street. Isn't that this? You, Maria Salome. Let's suppose we're walking on the street. Maria Salome is my friend. Ella es mi amiga. Oh, hello. What's going on?
Gosh, all things of things.
All kind of things.
Yeah.
Okay, sit down. Gosh, all kind of things, please. Let's suppose we are on the street, and you're going to ask me the question. Okay, we're coming on the street. What's going on?
Just the usual.
Just the usual. Oh, right. You are going to practice a while, okay? You ask her a question, and you ask her a question. 2-3 minutes. You are going to practice. They take the camera. You practice yourself. You practice. Understand?
Okay.
Okay, you have the question?
What's going on?
Not much.
What's happening?
Just the usual. What's happening?
Oh gosh, all kind of things.
Okay, very good. When you pronounce just the usual, repeat, usual, like television, you say usual, like television. Something similar, usual, like television. Alright. Do you have any question?
No.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, right. I'm going to raise. So today, we're going to come back to the last class. Remember the last class, Maria Salome? Remember the last class?
Yeah.
The numbers?
The numbers are
Remember the last class?
The shapes.
And the shapes. So, we have the shapes and we have the numbers. Today we're going to go over the numbers just a little while, okay? So, I'm going to repeat, and you're going to repeat the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you continue. Come here, please. You continue until 100. Okay? No, you continue 1, okay. You go to 11. Okay, and you show the camera.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
And you continue. Chain on chain. Right?
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 39, 30.
31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. 61, 52, 53, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100.
Oh, very good. Excellent. Congratulations. You know the numbers very well. Okay, sit down. Alright? So, what's more confusing here are these three sounds are too confusing. Estos son muy confusos. 3
Yes.
is different from tree. 3 árbol. Un árbol. And 3 tres, right? 13 is different from 30, right? This is 13,
13,
30. Okay, repeat. 13, 30. This is to take into consideration, right? So, with numbers, we can do a whole lot of things. Se pueden hacer muchas cosas con números. This is infinite. So, we're just going to practice with the numbers, the multiplication table, and no more. But we can do a lot of things with the numbers. So, we're going to do this activity. It's very easy. So, let's begin with the addition table, right? The addition table for the multiplication. So here, we have addition table, tabla de multiplicar. Normally we'll say, how much are 1 plus 2? How much are 1 plus 3? How much are 1 plus 9? So, you come here, and you come here. You're going to ask Maria Salome this question. How much are 1 plus 2? And you said, 1 plus 2 are 3. And you continue. How much are 2 plus 3? And you say, 2 plus 3 are 5. And you continue doing the activities. And then here you do the same thing. How much are 8? But in this second, you change. You ask the question and you answer. Is that clear?
Yes.
So, okay, look at the camera and do the activity.
Okay. Maria Salome. How much are 1 plus 2?
1 plus 2 are 3.
How much are 2 plus 3?
2 plus 3 are 5.
How much are 4 plus 5?
4 plus 5 are 9.
How much are 6 plus 7?
6 plus 7 are 15.
How much are 8 plus 8?
8 plus 8 are 16.
How much are 9 plus 11?
9 plus 11 are 20.
How much are 9 plus 1?
9 plus 1 are 10.
And how much are 12 plus 3?
12 plus 3 are 15.
And finally, how much are 8 plus 3? 9.
8 plus 9 are 17. Valentina. How much are 45 plus 5?
45 plus 5 are 15.
How much are 5 plus 15?
5 plus 15 are 20.
How much are 30 plus 12?
30 plus 12 are 42.
And how much are 18 plus 13?
18 plus 13 are 31.
Oh, good, enough. That is enough. Very good. Now, that is sit down. That is enough. This is very common to say in English. That is enough. That is or that is enough. That is enough. You pronounce F. Es suficiente. Repeat. That is enough.
That is enough.
Enough. You pronounce enough.
Enough.
Repeat. Enough.
Enough.
Okay. Now we continue with the we have multiplication, we have subtraction. We're going to do just one exercise, two exercise of subtraction. We say addition, remember, addition table, we have subtraction. So we're going to continue with subtraction. La resta. In English resta we say subtraction. Could you please, I'm going to explain. In this case, we said, how much is 50 minus 10? 50 minus 10 is 40. How much is 50 minus 17? 50 minus 17 is 33, alright? So, show the camera, right? At the same time, you show the camera.
Yeah.
So, you do this, and you do this after 2 minutes. Okay, you do it.
Valentina. And how much is 100 minus 15?
100 minus 15 is 88.
And how much is 89 minus 18?
89 minus 18 is 71.
How much is 73 minus 20?
73 minus 55 is 48.
How much is 65 minus 37?
65 minus 37 is 28.
Okay, it's good. It's enough. That is enough. Okay, very good. Then we're gonna have this is we're going to have this one, multiplication table. We're going to do one exercise at multiplication table. So multiplication table, normally we say how much is 4 times 1 is 4. You're going to explain this one. How much is 4 times 1? 4 times 1 is 4. 4 por 1, 4 por 2. So you do it and you change. So how much? So before, I'm going to explain to you. 4. This is times. How much is 4 times 1? 4 times 1 is 4. And you do 5, right?
Sayonara. How much is 4 times 1? 4 times 1 is 4. How much is 4 times 2? 4 times 2 is 8. How much are 4 times 3? 4 times 3 is 12. How much is 4 times 4? 4 times 4 is 15. How much 4 times 5? 4 times 5 is 20.
Alright, now, do you understand?
Yes.
Any question?
No.
Okay, sit down. Very good. Now, this is some kind of activities with numbers. We can do more, but in the level of this class, we are just going to be in this kind of activity. Now, we're going to review about the shapes. Do remember the shapes, right? Remember that you used to have the question, which shape is, right? Which shape is, for example, which shape is, I have one here. How do you call this in English?
Triangle.
No, how do you call it in English?
Square.
What is the name of this?
Floor
Floor triangle. So the question is, which shape is the floor triangle, right? So the floor triangle is
Square.
square. So when we're talking about shapes, we use round, we use a square, we use rectangular, and we use triangular, right? So a round, a square, rectangular, and triangular. What I want you to do in the class is, here we have a card, and here we have different or many words that are round, square, rectangular, or triangular. Redondo, cuadrado, rectangular, y triangular. What you're going to do on the floor, right? You can see on the floor, is this. This is, look on the floor, please. Here there are many words. Some are rectangular, some are triangular, and some are square. So you want to put on the card the object according to the shape, right? Whether it is round, whether it is square, rectangular, or triangular. Do you have a question?
No.
So you just take this, and then at the end of the activity, I am going to correct. Okay?
Okay.
Very good. how do you do it? Let me see. So, in this activity, we're going to see the name in English and Spanish to see whether or not they have made a good activity. So we have here round objects, right?
Yes.
Fruit. Round. Okay. Tell me the name of the round fruit. Orange. Okay. Cribs. Cribs. Could be a crib round. Cribs. No. Cribs. Cunas. So this is wrong. Cribs. Okay. What about the crowns here? So we have battles. Okay. Botones. Battles. But battles are round. We have balls. Very good. They are round. Rings. Anillos. Round. We put the rings here. We have planets, of course, the planets. How many planets are there?
8.
There are more.
Oh, no.
According to scientists, there are many planets. Okay. Coins, monedas. Very good. Bottle lids. Of course, las tapas. The trash can lids, las canecas, las tapas de las canecas de basura. The drawers are gavetas. So the drawers cannot be round. The drawers are rectangular. So these two wrong, but in this one you are very good. Now we'll see square objects. The pictures, los cuadros, square. Floor tiles are las baldosas, square. The dice, los dados, square. The chessboard, el tablero de ajedrez, is a square, absolutely. The windows, more of the windows are the square. The boxes, las cajas, are the square. And the square, que es la plaza, of course, is a square. All right. So we have the crosswords, los crucigramas, son squares. We have the weight scale. The weight scale is what is la pesa from the word square. And we have the roof tile. Some roof tiles are the squares. So las, what is the roof tiles in English, in Spanish? Roof tiles. Tejas. Tejas. Tejas, las tejas. Okay, let's go to the rectangular. We have the bookcases, que son los la biblioteca de la casa, the bookcases, right? We have the cabinets, que son armarios, very good. We have the suitcases, when you are traveling, you have a suitcase, las maletas. We have the eraser, the one we use. We have the fridges. Fridges is the short for refrigerator, right?
Yes.
Neveras, right? So we have the tents. But the tents are like this. Some carpas. The tents, carpas, twist that wrong. I haven't seen a rectangular tent. So the tires, I haven't seen the tires on llantas. I haven't seen llantas with a rectangular. The tires are round. Okay, we put it here. So we have the mattresses. The mattresses, los colchones, are rectangular. We have the bricks are rectangular. And we have the gas counter. I haven't seen a gas, and the gas counter in my house is not rectangular. The gas counter in my house is a square. So we have here and we have here. Some we have triangular. I haven't seen a wheel which is triangular. Las ruedas. The first invention of the man is the wheel. So the wheel is round. So they have difference. Las llantas y las ruedas. Wheels are las ruedas. So we have the spaceships, maybe the spaceship could be triangular. The fir trees are like como pinos, triangular, right? The clouds, okay? The leaves, hojas, are triangular. A piece of cake, a piece of cake could be triangular, right? A piece of cheese also is triangular. A piece of una rebanada de queso. A pair of scissors, okay, triangular. When you are traveling, you see on the road sign. The road sign triangulars, and the pyramids are triangular. You say pyramids. Could you pick it up for me, please?
Yes.
All right. Now we're going to start today lesson 8, my body, you know. After going back to the last lesson, the review of the last lesson, this was the first part of the class. Now we are in the second part of the class. The second part of the class is the objectives of this class. In this class, we're going to know about the human body. The human body. The human body is precious, you know. So, but the human body is something, not something, is composed of a skeleton. The human body have divided into the skeleton. This is the skeleton, right? But the human body also is composed by flesh. This is flesh. Esqueleto, la carne. The flesh at the human body we call la carne, we call it the flesh. But the human body also have muscles, muscles, and the human body have nerves. So this is just the basics. Esto solamente son los básicos. This is not a medicine class, but the basis is very important. How to name the different parts of the body, right? Because the body is divided: the head, the trunk, and the legs, right? So we're going to give some examples about the skeleton, right? So let's continue with this part of the class. When we're talking about the skeleton, we're talking about bones, right? Los huesos. We're talking about the bones. How many bones do we have? I don't know, Valentina. How many bones do we have, Maria Salome? Do you know? 200 bones? So, we have many bones. I don't have the exact number of the bones we have. But we also have, when we talk about the bones, we talk about this skull. What is the skull? The skull is this. This is the skull. The skull. So we have bones and we have a skull. The Spanish cranium, right? The skull. This is a skull. But we also have, this is called ribs. Ribs. That's costillas. Ribs. We have ribs. So bones, we have ribs. How many ribs do we have, Maria Salome? How many ribs do we have? Do you know?
No.
How many ribs do we have, Valentina?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
According to we study, we have 12 ribs to the right side and 12 ribs to the left side. We have 12. But we have the floating ribs. The floating ribs son las costillas falsas. We have, in English say, floating ribs. In English say, las costillas flotantes, dicen en inglés. En inglés dicen floating ribs. En español nosotros decimos las costillas falsas. This language is different, you know, the connotation. Because they float, right? So we have the ribs. Then we have, this is a very important bone. This bone is the collarbone. The collarbone is the collarbone. The collarbone is la clavícula. Collarbone, right? So the collarbone, is my collarbone broken?
Yeah.
No, because it's hurt, right? we have the collarbone. This is very important. So we also have, we continue this part we call the back. We have the back especially, but this is the spine, right? This is the spine. La columna vertebral or the backbone. We have the backbone, or a spine. The backbone or the spine is very important for the human body. It's important, the backbone, la columna vertebral, right? The backbone. And then we also have here, this is the knee, right? The knee. We have the knee. And also, there is a cap, what we call a cap. Here we have something that you move here. La rótula, it moves. So this is your knee cap, because it's a cap, porque es como una gorra que está encima de la rodilla. It moves. But we call it the knee cap. This is the knee cap. The knee cap, right? Take the knee cap. And then we have this bone here, especially this bone, if you receive a kick here, it's very painful. This is the shin, right? The shin, la espinilla, the shin. Repeat, shin.
Shin.
But also here we have the ankle. Repeat, ankle.
Ankle.
We have the ankle. And let's put it here. Ankle. Listen to the pronunciation. Ankle.
Ankle.
Because if you say ankle, this is deal, right?
Yes.
So this is very important to know. Because we have ankle, but it's not ankle, right? Ankle is tobillo, ankle is steel, right? And then we have, finally, the foot, right? There are more bones. Hay muchos más huesos, of course, right? So this for the time being. This is for the time being, por ahora. It's an expression that people use a lot. This is for the time being. Repeat, for the time being.
For the time being.
Por ahora. Okay, let's repeat. Bone, skeleton. Skeleton. Bones. Skull. Ribs. Floating ribs. Collarbone. Backbone. Knee. Kneecap. Chin. Shin. Ankle. Foot. This is the part I've been talking about, the bones, talking about the skeleton, right? So now, let's talk about flesh. Flesh, I'm going to erase here. Do you take notations?
Yes.
All right, very good. So remember this. Then we go to, when we're talking about the human being, we have to know the skeleton, to know which are the most important bones. So how do you call this? Collarbone. How do you call this?
Knee.
On? Kneecap. Okay. How do you call this? The heart? Skull. How do you call this? Ankle. You have to remember, this is collarbone. How do you call this? Backbone. And generally we have bones, right? And this is one part of the club. But human body not only has skeleton, it has flesh. El cuerpo humano no solamente tiene esqueleto, tiene flesh, carne, what we call the internal organs. Internal organs. But what you see out of the body, not out of the body, what you see here is just flesh. But we have internal organs. The first organ, an organ that you can see is inside the skull, we have the
brain.
Right. This is the skull, but inside the skull we have the brain. So brain. Right? We have the brain. Yes, the brain. But you continue down and we have the heart. The heart is an internal organ. We have the heart. You pronounce heart, right? Very good. A-R, heart. And we continue down, we have
Stomach.
a stomach, right? Stomach. Remember, you pronounce a stomach.
Stomach.
Okay, ta. We have a stomach, right? A stomach. And we continue down. This whole part of the body, we have the liver, right? The liver. When we talk about the liver, we talk about the hígado, right? The liver. But we also have here kidneys. Kidneys. The kidneys. How many kidneys do we have, Maria Salome? How many kidneys do we have? Two kidneys, kidneys. There are people who only have one kidney, right? Because they have gone through a surgery. But we have normally two kidneys. And we have the bladder. Bladder. Bladder is, do you know?
Vejiga.
Right. But something that also is placed is the thigh. The thigh. We have the thigh. Finally, let me put it here. Thigh. Pronounce thigh. Thigh. They pronounce like Spanish thigh. Okay, that we say thigh is muscle, right? The thigh. There are more. Hay muchos más. But in the first level, at least that you learn this is very good. Al menos si se aprendan esto, it's perfect. So let's pronounce brain, heart, stomach, liver, kidneys, and bladder. Could you please, Maria Salome, repeat?
Brain,
Well, good.
heart, stomach, liver, kidneys, bladder.
Very good. And thigh. Would you please, Valentina?
Brain, heart, stomach, liver, kidneys, bladder.
Very good. There are many more. But now let's try to learn this one. I am going to erase, right? Then we have muscles. Well, there are many muscles in our body. We have muscles at the eyes, muscles at the face. We have muscles all around, right? We have muscles all around. Tenemos músculos por todas partes. Just to mention some of them, we have the pectorals. We are talking about muscles. We have the pectorals, right? Pectorals. We have the biceps, my biceps. We have the biceps. We also have the triceps. And we have the quadriceps. same translation in English than in Spanish. Repeat: pectorals,
Pectorals,
biceps,
biceps,
triceps,
triceps,
quadriceps.
quadriceps.
Okay, quadriceps. Quadriceps. Repeat: quadriceps.
Quadriceps.
So there are more muscles, but everybody who practice lifting weights, people who lift weights, is levantar pesos. People who lift weights are very familiar with muscle, right? Okay, now we have nerves. More of the nerves also, the nerves are in the back. In the back there, we have what we call the backbone. Most of the nerves are in the brain and in the backbone, where we can find most. And there are nerves in the face. There are nerves in the eyes also. So this is a combination of muscle and nerves. Hay músculos y nervios en el cuerpo humano, all together, right? Todos juntos, all together. So, what I want now to do is, I am not very good at drawing, but what I want you to do is that we're going to draw other parts of the human body. We begin with the face. We're going to draw the face. Let's draw here the face. You can draw a face, right? So I want you to draw a face like this. This is my head in this picture. So I have my head, right? In my head, we have the hair. This is the hair. My head, and this is the hair, right? But we also have here the forehead. The forehead. What is the forehead? La frente. The forehead, right? This is the eyebrow. And this is the eye, right? This is the eye. And here we have the mouth. This is the mouth. Excuse me, with my handwriting. The mouth. We have the mouth. Also, we have the nose. Then we have the chin, right? The chin. Remember, don't confuse chin with shin. It's different. Chin, and we have chin. We have chin, and we have chin. And here we have cheeks. Right? The cheeks. Could you repeat, please? My head, her, eye, nose, chin, cheeks, mouth, eyebrow, and forehead. Then, this part of the body, coming here, we call it the neck, right? This is the neck. And then, we don't have it here in the picture, are going to be the shoulders. Let's suppose that the drawing continues here. We continue here, we have here the shoulder. right? The shoulder. This is the shoulder. And then, it's very important to know when we're talking about the shoulder. Let's say, for example, that we have here the hand. This is the hand, but this is the fingers. The hand and the fingers, right? Okay. We call this the fingers, right? Fingers. But when we're going down, we're going to find the leg. Let's suppose here. This is going to be the legs, right? The legs. And this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be the toes, right? Legs and toes. Legs and las piernas and the toes. This is different between fingers and toes. All right. So this is the human body, right? So we're going to have some activities when we continue with our classes. So in the next class, we're going to do activities with the human body. For the time being, just pay attention to all the parts of the human body as for us, right? So in the next class, we're going to do activity. So thank you for coming to my English classes, and I hope to see you in the next class in which we're going to review the human body. Okay, goodbye, my friends.
Goodbye.